Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of Small Things. This is a wonderful podcast where I make small things big issues. We discuss the size of those issues, but small relatively, and I blow them out of proportion nonetheless because that's how my brain works. I talk about therapy. I talk about my therapist. I talk about porta potties. We talk about daylight savings, being active, and enjoying the summer. We also dig into the election and whatever happened with that because right now I'm not sure what happened with that. But anyways, guys, like, subscribe, listen to the whole episode, get to the end, help me out, help me help you, and enjoy this week's episode.
You bring her out, you have her hold small things. You bring her out, you have her hold small things. It's time to think about things that we call tall. Really isn't anything big, it's all small. I'm getting mixed feels knowing what the pod brings. Cause it's a big deal listening to small things. You bring her out, you have her hold small things. You bring her out, you have her hold.
Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of Small Things. This is the Small Things podcast where small things make me annoyed. The small things maybe don't have to be physically small. They could be pretty large. They can be medium-sized, but basically it's just the idea of things that are small in life that we typically don't think about. I do. That's just my brain. Even me just saying do. I said it weird. What is that? I can't not. My filters are too fine. I catch everything. Is that a good thing? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it is, and I think it isn't. I think sometimes I have a hard time letting things go, which is why I'm in therapy, and me and my therapist talk about, letting things go. Therapy feels good. I was excited when I started going to therapy, and I'm not afraid to talk about it. I was excited. I'm like, let's seek professional help. And then my first session with my therapist, she told me that she has a therapist, and I was like, well, this makes me feel unsure already. You have a therapist. We can't have that. That's not a thing. I can't have her having a therapist. Do you realize how my brain works? I'm like, does that therapist have a therapist? Does that therapist have a therapist there? It could go forever. It's just now somebody, maybe that's just the chain, because since I seeked help, I was like, I kind of want to, I want to help other people, but it's an unsettling feeling, people. It doesn't feel good when you know your therapist has a therapist, because just think about it. It's like you want to go to them like they have all the answers and they don't need to turn around and ask somebody else. I don't want to, if she's like, how does that make you feel? And I blurt some shit out and then she goes, all right, I'll be right back. And then she goes in the other room and gets the answer. What's the fucking point of that? I want her, for my sanity, my peace of mind, to be able to look at me and be like, I'm good. This is why you're bad. I don't want her to be like, you're bad. I'm not as bad. That person's better. I'll be back. It's unsettling. You know what I thought about? I go, when she told me she has a therapist, that's basically, know what it feels like? It feels like if I were driving and I found out my GPS was also using a GPS. See what I'm saying? Where you're like, what are we doing here? But I don't know. I just think, I don't know. I try not to give a shit. That's the key to life. Or here, the key to life is not give a shit. Giving shit means you're too aware of too much what's happening. I want to give zero shits. I wish I can give zero shits. I write notes to myself throughout the day. I think that's a therapeutic thing. I think that it's helpful. I wish I can give zero shits. Moving forward, there'll be zero shit coming out of me. Moving forward, I'm going to come at you with a constipated state of mind. Zero shit. You're going to be like, Matt, you give zero shits. I go, yeah, I'm clogged up emotionally and nothing's coming out. But I don't know. Sometimes the grass is greener, but you ever see other people, you're like, man, I don't know. Other people are happier. Just things don't bother them as much. Like I don't know. I was reminiscing the other day. I'm like, man, I wish when I was pregnant, I wish when I was pregnant. I wish when my mom was pregnant, she just, had a couple drinks, just a few, just slam a few sixers here and there, maybe rip some cigs, just fucking knock me off a little. That would just set me up for just be like, I don't think that guy's happy as shit. He doesn't care. It started in the womb. Doreen was too healthy. She was too on top of things. And next thing you know, I come out just hyper aware. I have these thoughts just all day. I went to we went to our buddy's special taping. Chappelle Lacey, funny guy, funny, great comic, just a great guy. And we went to his taping, and at one point I had to go outside, and I used the porta potty, and they didn't have the normal bathrooms. Obviously, the way the room was set up, we had to go outside to use a porta potty. I'm like, you know what? A porta potty is just like, we've all as a society come together and be like, we're just dealing with porta potties. What an interesting thing that we all just put up with, and there's rarely enhancements in the world of porta. I mean, we all just have to deal with it. You just got to walk in there. We've all experienced that first, you open the plastic door, the smell hits you, it's stagnant air. Every porta potty I've ever seen has a mound of poop. Like, not even, it's just like a mound of shit. And you want to know something funny? I've never shit in a porta potty in my life. I might have once. But regardless, not enough where I'm like, who are these people? Are you cleaning these things? And then I was sitting there, and I'm like, and then when you're in there, I mean, as women, you're sitting down, but as guys were standing up. And you have two options. You either piss into the mound of shit, or there's like a little knockoff urinal. And I'm like, you can definitely tell what type of week you're having, where you're like, I'm going to do the urinal. And then, you're having a kind of a rough week. You're like, I'm going to hit some shit with my piss. That was disgusting. The thing I notice, I'm in the porta potty, and I'm like, they have that like top band around it for ventilation. How come every time I'm up there and I'm like, I'm looking around, like you feel like you're spying on someone? I don't know why. I felt very like mischievous, like just peeking out of it, just staring at folks. But what I was going to get at is, I mean, being in a porta potty just gave me such a insane respect for like just water, just what water does for everything. I mean, it literally, if water was in that scenario, it would be not as bad. And it just got me thinking. I was like, wow, water is like just a unsung hero. We don't give it enough credit. It, like, if you're just dumping without water, it's disgusting. We need water to grow things. We need water to live. I mean, it's such a pivotal piece in our lives. And it is what it is. I don't drink enough water. I was listening to an audiobook today, and they were saying how we got to drink more water, and how it can affect you mentally and all this stuff. But whatever. So, I mean, I was going to talk about election stuff. Honestly, right now, it's done. It's done. For me, I'm filming. It's actually November 5th right now, not to give you guys a bit of a little peek behind the lens, but Election day's over, and so-and-so's president. And I don't know who's happy about it or who isn't, but they're president, and I'm sure a lot of people are not excited. And it's insane that these sentences that are coming out of my mouth can be for both people. I mean, I'm going to be blunt. I'm undecided. I don't know who I want. I mean, I'm a very devil's advocate kind of guy where I can see, I try to be empathetic towards both sides and see things, but it's a tough decision. I mean, I think the thing that's annoying is what annoys me is how people go about the process, how they went about the process to win the election. Mainly just, the relentless commercials, the relentless text messages, which, side note, I love how during the elections, we're just getting spammed with election text messages. You're like, what happened to this whole data thing? I thought this was like not allowed. Why do they get to just completely bypass any privacy requirements and just start rifling off just election shit here and there? I mean, I got the amount of text messages I got from Trump and Kamala apparently was just like a bit much. And then you get one from like a mayor. You're like, who the fuck are you? Who did you pay to get just a list of emails or numbers? Funny, speaking of that tactic, I was doing a show in Dallas last year, and this kid, I don't know who he met here. I don't know who the fuck he is. I think he was a comic in LA, and then he moved to Austin, but he got his hands on like just the phone number list for one of the bigger clubs, and he's like, yeah, you pay me like $100, I'll blast out your show via text. And I was like, I'll give you a fucking 50. But I was just like, who? And they got me thinking, like, with the election and that, I'm like, who the fuck is like getting these random text messages and then acting on it? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a weird do I want that person there? Maybe they see my name, but I'm like, if I ever got a text message that was like, Roddy Trimble's in town, come get meanwhile, I had to write him like a specific like thing. I had to write like a sentence that's going to be in the text. And I went to ChatGPT to like help me write it because obviously, I mean, ChatGPT, things like that. I'll never stab my friends in the back and like send them an email with ChatGPT because then you're like, who are you? You ever get an email at work and somebody wrote it with ChatGPT? You're like, what do you think you're tricking me? Just in the last month, you just became an English major. I mean, I've seen your previous emails. Don't try to hit me with this like poetic email now with these words I know for a fact you don't know. You can't do that. So, anyways, I had to send this kid a sentence for the show. And anyways, ChatGPT was like, come get a night of laughter with Maddie Chibber. It's just emojis. I was like, ew, no one talks like that. That's my biggest beef with AI. It talks like such a generic fucking weirdo. And I was like, then again, imagine getting that and being like, I'm going to click this link. You're like, that your phone is going to get taken over if you click that goddamn link. But, yeah, I don't know how I even got. The election. I don't know. It's over. People probably are done with it, but we're moving on. It's going to be December soon. Know what I was thinking about with months? It's kind of weird to me that how come every month is 30 or 31 days? Why are we stuck to that amount? I wish we had like months that were less or maybe more. I mean, maybe we had, but wouldn't it be fun if we had like a wonky month that was like 7 days? Oh, it's Schleptember. What the fuck is Schleptember? It's this 7-day month. It's weird. It's like an uncle that just shows up. And I mean, that would be fun. Why don't we do that? That's how we do the week. I mean, the weekend, the week, midweek, weekend. We kind of like fucked with what's going on. Why don't we mess around with that? I mean, I'm born in February. My month's already fucking, we have leap year. I'm sick. I mean, we have leap year. We have, but this day's 29 or 28 days. We have daylight savings. You're like, what is this shit we're hanging on to? Why don't we just stop as a civilization and say, okay, first things first, someone put water in the porta potty because I'm sick of seeing a mound of shit. There's like a wristband in there. I'm sorry, I'm hung up on that. When I was in the porta potty, I was like, this is a funny thing. First things first, let's figure this out. We're gonna start. We're getting rid of daylight savings. That's done. And no one cares. There's like 8 farmers. They have lights. They don't need this shit. And not to mention, everything's genetically modified. Everything's genetically modified. We don't need light anymore. I mean, for Christ's sake, these guys are growing tomatoes in the dark. It's just the tomatoes are glowing. Let's get rid of that. If I was president, this is what you're gonna get on me if I was president. Daylight savings done. Farmers growing shit in the dark. It doesn't matter. 2, we're getting fun months. We're getting merch. What is March? It's right after March. It's like 6 to 7 days depending on the year, and you have to wear blue every day. The fuck? Why? Just because that's why. It's fun. We're having fun. You guys like fucking Saturday. Well, let's maybe do that. Maybe we make Saturday a month. That would be a fun thing. Let's just start voting. Let's take the funnest days and be like, you've been a good day for so long. You are now a month. What's the worst month? I think March is stupid. March is dumb. April, I don't mind. April's fine. So we're now, okay, it's going to go January, February, Friday, March, April, May, June, July, Saturday, September, October, November, December. That's the new thing. And then we got to come up with new names for Friday and Saturday. Or you just keep it, and then in those days of the week, we just honor that month. That would be a little much, but I mean, that would be that. I don't know. I'm good in a position of power, but I'm not always mean, I'm pretty irresponsible for the most part. For fuck's sake, I have a bag of clothes that I was supposed to donate that's been in my car for like 7 years. I mean, my trunk of my car is just a graveyard for things I was going to donate, which is even worse. There's a man or woman or child out there shivering, waiting for the bags of clothes that are in my trunk, and I'm just like, I'm busy. I got to go to kickball today. I don't have time. Just clothes that can change someone's life, and they're just rotting in my trunk. You ever think about that? I'm more worried about getting that write-off, not thinking down the road. That's why I'd be a bad president. But also, I mean, when people are in power, they just get ripped. I think that's another thing, too. It's like, what my favorite thing to do? I don't know why. It's because social media pisses me off. Everything about it pisses me off. One of my guilty pleasures, speaking of just like taking down people in power, is I like to go on the Instagram CEO's Instagram account. I said Instagram too many times, but this guy Adam Mosseri, I go to his Instagram account. Whenever I'm pissed off with the algorithm or something's not going my way, I like to just I like going on his Instagram and reading the comments, and because he gives these little tips and trick videos of like, do a carousel with music, it'll increase your reach. He's just giving this like vague bullshit advice to grow on Instagram. Never has worked. Constantly pumping us with a to-do list of things, which the through line for all of them is just pumping out more content, and we hold up our end of the bargain, and at no point has that person ever held up his end of the bargain. Fuck you, you suck. That's all it is. So anyways, what I like to do, really gets me busting nuts. I like to go to his Instagram and I like to just read the comments, because he'll be like, post a carousel with some music, use a story, just day-to-day things. And people are just like, you fucking suck. Improve the reach. You ruin this platform. Then you get somebody to be like, bring back photos. Everyone's like, shut the fuck up. No one gives a shit about photos. Oh, it just makes me feel so good when I just see people just burying him in his own comment section. That guy can't and then you get the people who are like, what a wonderful piece of advice, thank you. You're like, shut the fuck up. You just like kiss ass. You feel them just kissing ass, just blowing him in his own goddamn comment section. For what? For fucking what? So you think he's going to like push a button and make your page better? You clown ass. I'm sick of it. I mean, at this point with Instagram, people, let's be honest. Whether you guys are creators or not, I think it's the percentage of a creator. I mean, people like posting. We all enjoy it. Whether you do or you don't, you're doing it at some point. Can you honestly look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I like posting. I like Instagram. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy the constant beating of me and my content, and the nights of just having no clue what I'm doing or what's going wrong or this, that. Just the constant, unsure, hopeless future of this. I mean, are we enjoying this? Can we all like get on a conference call and be like, all right, guys, is this even fun anymore? Because I'm pretty sure we're all slaving away making shit, and then for what? For it to just get 9 likes? You ever like post something and it has such few likes? You're like, that's mathematically impossible. I post a video on Instagram and it gets like 6 likes in 9 days. You're like, whoa, how is this even happening? Why is this even a feature anymore if we're just going to like kick it while it's down? You fucking idiots. Anyways, I'm done with the social media rants. There's no place for that in here. I mean, we're not doing that, but I'm trying to eat better. I mean, I'm trying to really just dig into a good diet. I mean, I'm at the point every couple years I have, or not even a couple years, a couple months, I'm like, you know what? Why don't we just get in really good shape? Let's just get in really good shape. So when I'm like 50, 60, 70, when, you know, achieving a good body is hard, we can look back and be like, hey, we did that once. And I'm kind of in that phase right now. You ever just think like that? You're like, man, one time, and sometimes when I'm at the gym, I try to like motivate myself by saying, one day you're going to be like 75 and you're going to fucking wish you could have done this last rep. Just guilt tripping myself. And does it work? it does and it doesn't, but I try to like use that as motivation. It's like when you're sick, guys. Let's think about this. When you're sick, you're like, oh man, I wish I can go out. I wish I can go to the gym, but I'm fucking sick. Like just the things you take for granted, you wish you could do. And sometimes I want to like have this foresight, this foreskin of thought where I'm like, okay, when I'm like older, you're going to wish you were working out, doing these things because then you can't. And on top of that, I took that same mentality and I was like, I told my girlfriend Mandy, I was like, let's enjoy summer. It's such a weird thing to say to your significant other. I'm a weird boyfriend. The one thing I do when I go to kiss my girlfriend, I shut my eyes too soon and I lose her face. You guys ever do that? You ever just shut your eyes so early? You're like, all right, I don't even know where your face went. I think shutting your eyes is within like the last inch, 2-3 inches. I'm shutting my eyes at like foot 3. I mean, I'm blind. But I looked at her and I was like, let's enjoy summer. And she's like, what? I was like, let's just do so much summer shit outdoors, doing things that when the fall, winter, dark, crappy daylight savings months come around the corner, we're actually excited to now enjoy that. We're not leaving any stone unturned. We're not leaving anything on the table. And we did that. And actually, I'm kind of enjoying the darkness. I'm enjoying the darkness of the fall. I'm letting seasonal depression consume me willingly. And so anyways, that's what I want to do is like, let's just be so active and annoyingly at doing things, eating well, that when I'm older, I'm like, you did it. You're fine. You're done. You did it. But all right, guys, that's it. I got to do some stuff, and I appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment. I say this every week. Nobody listens. So do it if you want. Don't do it if you don't. And guess what? Whether you do it or you don't, you're a fucking bitch. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.
It's time to think about things that we call tall. Really isn't anything big, it's all small. I'm getting mixed feels knowing what the pod brings, cause it's a big deal listening to small things.
You bring her out, you have her hold small things. You bring her out, you have her hold small things. You bring her out, you have her hold small things. Hold small things.